They say the world was sung into being, but Silas knows better. He knows the world was forged, hammered into shape on an anvil of ice and tempered in the blood of those who came before. Look at his hands. They are not the hands of a hero. They are the hands of a man who has looked into the kiln of his own soul and found only ash. He does not come to Skyrim seeking a throne. He comes seeking a grave, or a reason to live.
I walked the narrow path, until the path gave way to the abyss. They told me the Daedra offer power. They told me the mages offer light. I told them I would rather stumble in the truth than fly in a lie.
He chooses the Lord, not to rule, but to endure. He chooses the mercy of Stendarr, not because he is holy, but because he is a sinner who knows the weight of his own shield. He will not cast a spell. He will not summon a flame. He will be the iron that the flame cannot consume. Before the frost of Skyrim, there was the smoke of the east. Silas was not always a wanderer. He was a man of the cloth and a man of the bellows. At the monastery of the Iron Gate, he spent 20 years in silence, forging icons out of silver and gates out of iron. But peace is a fragile thing in a world of wolves. When the cults came, they didn't just bring fire, they brought perversion. They used magic to turn his brothers into shadows. Silas watched as everything holy was unmade by the flick of a wizard's wrist. He survived, but he left his name in the ruins.
I saw them burn, my masters, my friends. They had prayers on their lips, but the mages had fire in their blood. I escaped not because I was brave, but because I was hiding in the soot of my own forge.
He carries the guilt of the survivor. He believes that magic is the ultimate pride, a way for man to play God without the labor of the soul. This is his penance: to walk the earth as a common man, to feel every cold wind, to bleed from every wound. He will not cheat death with a spell. He will look death in the eye with a hammer in his hand. He arrived at the border with nothing but a prayer rope and a heavy heart. The Empire took his rags, but they could not take his craft. Skyrim is a land of iron, and Silas is a man who knows how to make iron speak.
They call me a blacksmith. They call me a Nord. But I am just a man trying to find the light again. One strike, one breath, one mercy. I will build my cathedral here, in the heat of the fire and the weight of the shield.
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood. Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead.
He sees a stranger. I see a brother in the craft. His fire is the same fire that burned in the east. His iron is the same iron that held my monastery together. It is a language I still remember.
Whatever you need. Buy Ysmir if it's simple and strong. I can... Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. Until next time.
One strike for the metal. One strike for the soul. Alvor talks of tempering and sharpening. I call it discipline. We do not just make a blade. We make a promise.
You looking for a new blade? This looks good. You put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you want to keep helping. How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack. Aye.
It is rough. It smells of salt and old blood. It reminds me of the road. We are all just hides being stretched by the world. waiting to see if we break or if we become something useful.
Iron or steel is what you need. Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need... Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need.
He does not craft a crown for a king. He crafts a helmet for a penitent. A wall of iron and hide to guard the mind from the vanity of the world.
The helmet is the most honest piece of armor. It does not hide the face. It protects the temple. As I cinch the leather straps, I am not just preparing for a journey. I am accepting my cage.
I could forge you a war hammer that would crush... I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there.
A blacksmith's life is a life of boundaries. This iron is my first boundary.
You the sneaky type? Got some nice daggers around. You have talent. Keep working at your craft, and you'll be a fine smith one day. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforged steel, huh?
My sister Camilla or I will be happy to help you. Yes, we did have an ornament, solid gold in the... You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those... Show those thieves not to steal from Luke and Valeria. We could always use help. Of course.
Gold. It is the heaviest metal, not because of its weight, but because of what it does to the eyes of men. Lucan speaks of his loss as if his soul was taken. I do not want his gold, but I will help him find his peace.
In the monastery, we swept the floors before we sang the psalms. A cluttered room is a reflection of a cluttered mind. Silas cleans because he knows that if he is to face the darkness of Bleak Falls Barrow, he must first find order in the small things.
Bless the bread, bless the salt, bless the water. A man who does not respect his hunger will soon find his spirit weak in the face of the mountain. I eat not for pleasure, but for the strength to carry the iron.
He prepares a simple meal in a clean shop, a monk's dinner. In the world of Lorerim, calories are as precious as blood. Silas knows that the frost of the peaks does not care for his vows. It only cares for the heat in his veins.
You're kind of fuzzy. What's wrong with you?
Warm beds.
You're that visitor been poking around. Bleak Falls Barrow. Interesting. That's a notorious bandit hideout. Why? Are you sure? Best be careful. I don't want you to get yourself killed, at least. Skyrim is wild country these days. You're probably right. But if you live in fear of what might go wrong, you'll end up doing nothing. But my gut tells me you know what I'm talking about. I'm the innkeeper. I'm the innkeeper. We don't get a lot of travelers here in Riverwood. Most of my customers are locals, come here to relax after a hard day's toil. The war keeps most folks away these days. So what's your story? Just here to relax? I should have guessed. Right then. If you're staying the night, I've got a free room. Sure thing. What does this look like? The Temple of Mara? No gold, no bed.
We got rooms and food. drink, too. I cook. Let's sate that appetite,
The merchant counts his coin. Silas counts his sweat. In the city, gold is power. Here, in the shadow of the mountain, gold is simply the price of a fire that someone else built.
We don't get a lot of travelers here in Riverwood. Sure thing.
He trades the work of his hands for a few hours of peace. It is an honest exchange. A blacksmith knows the value of a thing is not in its shine, but in the time it took to pull it from the earth.
My back aches. My hands are stained with coal and salt. This is a good weight. It is better than the weight of a guilty conscience. Lucan wants his claw. The mountain wants my life. But tonight, the bed is warm. Tomorrow, I hunt. Tomorrow, I bleed the earth for its ore. I will not step foot on that mountain until I am encased in the work of my own hands. One strike at a time, I will find my strength.
The hammer rests, but the fire in his heart is just beginning to catch. Tomorrow, the true work begins. The fishing nets, the deep veins of the earth, and the hunt for the hide. Silas will build his fortress, piece by piece, strike by strike. God have mercy on the man who seeks peace in a land of war.